Alright, so in this video we're going to be solving the following problem called URLify, and the specification of this problem is as follows. We want to write a method, function, to replace all the spaces in a given string with this %20. So generally when you go to a website, if you see the URL string, the spaces are delimited by this %20 character. So you may assume that the string has sufficient space at the end to hold the additional characters, and that you're given the true length of the string. So what we're going to do is we're going to just first of all, let's put in a test string that we'll be testing our method on. So I'm going to write this variable input, let's call it test string, and I'm just going to call this Mr. John Smith. That is the test string that we'll use. And in Python, there's a very easy way for us to get the length of the string, which we'll explicitly pass to this function. So I'm just going to say input test length is equal to the length of the input test string. Alright, so we have at least one possible test vector. So now we're going to actually write our function. So I'm just going to define a function called URLify, and it's going to take two parameters, of course the input string and also the input length. And basically what we want to do is we want to go through the string. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to iterate through the string. And if we encounter a white space, what we're going to do is we're going to replace that white space with the specified %20 character. So let's actually start to do that. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to define an empty variable up here, which is just at the moment an empty string called URL. This will, of course, be the URL that will return at the end of the function. And then what we're going to do is we're going to loop through the string that we're given in the input. So for I in range of the length of the input string, we're going to loop through, and if we encounter a white space, so that is if the index of the index I of the input string is equal to an empty space, what we want to do is we want to append the %20 character. So I'll put in that character there, and then otherwise what we want to do is we want to just keep iterating through the string and just appending the character if it's not a space. So that way we'll basically keep what was given to us in the input string. So let me write that out. I think it's actually clear. If I just write it out in code, I'll say URL plus equal, again this is a shorthand for URL is equal to URL plus input string of I. And then what we're going to do after the loop has finished is we're going to return URL. So let's actually give this a go. Let me say print URLify of the input test string and also the input test length. So if we run this, we get the %20s appropriately placed in the spaces that they should be placed. So that is pretty much it for this video, and thanks again for watching.